Hi guys, welcome back on the health and fitness bit now. I wanted to talk a bit about the major contributing factors to putting on muscle. And this is obviously going out to the sort of middle-aged guys because that's what I am. That's kind of what I know about. But I've also done this stuff when I'm a lot younger. I was in way better shape when I was younger, down to like, sort of 5-6% body fat when I was competing in bodybuilding and stuff. I've been there and done it in terms of physique, and I've been pretty strong as well. I've done some pretty decent powerlifting in the past, but there are some things that I constantly see people skipping, or they don't think these factors are important, and that is the main factors that they need to fulfill to stand any chance of growing any decent muscle tissue. So if you've been going down the gym and you're disappointed, you're thinking, well, what's going on? I'm not putting on muscle, these other guys are, and you just assume that everyone else must be taking some kind of wild drugs and whatever, and you can't understand why you're not getting results. I guarantee it will be one of these factors. And these are things that you cannot skip, guys. That I hear this all the time. People like, oh, well, I'll still grow muscle if I don't do this, but I do that. No, they're like a jigsaw. You have to get all these factors in place and you have to do them properly, or you will not grow muscle. It's a recipe, and if you miss one part of that recipe, you will not grow the muscle. It's as simple as that. So most people assume that if you go to a gym and you simply pick up some weights and put them back down again, and you do that consistently, that's enough. And that's only one part of it. So let's cover all the parts, and I'll start with what I think is the most important. For me, and a lot of other people would agree, the most important factor in growing muscle is diet. Without the diet on point, you will never ever grow muscle. You will never look in decent shape. You will maybe look really fat. You maybe look really thin. But either way, you're not going to get the physique that you possibly desire. That's if you do desire this kind of muscular physique. Not everyone does. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're looking for a muscular physique, you need to get your diet on point to achieve that. Now, I do have some diet videos that I'll link at the end of this. So if you keep watching till the end, there'll be a video come up that will show you all the sort of diet stuff I'm doing. If you join up for like £2 a month, you can get access to the diet sheets and all that. So you can get them, copy them, and that'll give you a pretty good idea. You can also Google the sort of diets that people that are lifting weights are doing, and that will give you a good idea as well. But this isn't something that you can sort of dip in and out of. If you're serious about putting on muscle, you need to be doing this diet, consistently, maybe 7 days a week and then have a day off on a cheat day. But that's really your limit. If you're less consistent than that, then you're going to really struggle to put on some muscle. It has to be a decent amount of protein, a decent amount of complex carbohydrates, and a decent amount of essential fats, and none of them over-consumed, none of them under-consumed. That's important stuff. And you don't even need to lift weights, guys. If you've got your diet on point and you do it for a year or so, and you just get on with your life as normal, your body composition will change massively, and you will notice that you're more toned. You will notice that you're leaner. You're not sort of walking around with tons of body fat on you. So everything can be made better with diet. You'll probably feel healthier as well. I certainly did when I went off the rails and had a really rubbish diet for a few years, and then I jumped back on the sort of gym bro diet. I felt a whole load better. It affected my life in many, many positive ways and got me thinking more positively, feeling more ambitious, getting more stuff done, eager to get up in the morning, not depressed and sort of laying around in bed trying to delay the inevitable getting up for work. I'm actually getting up and looking forward to the day. So loads and loads of benefits to that. Now, the next thing is obviously you have to go and lift some weights, because what's going to happen there is you're going to create these sort of micro traumas in the muscle tissue, and then your body's going to heal and those muscles are going to get bigger as those traumas are fixed. It's the sort of body's way of overcoming the exertion you've put it through. It's going to fix them a little bit better than before, so that the next time you have to lift those heavy weights, it's not going to hurt you so much. So it's kind of an evolutionary adaptation, pretty useful. And the same thing, if you were to run really long distances every day, you would lose muscle tissue and your body would get leaner, because that's much more effective for running really long distances. So you see the marathon runners, they look like that for a reason. The body has adapted to what they're doing. So if you go and lift heavy weights, the body's going to adapt and it's going to look like a body that can lift heavy weights. Now, I see a lot of people lifting weights at the gym, and a huge amount of them are not lifting anywhere near heavy enough, or maybe enough reps, because it doesn't have to be super heavy. But the point being that every time you do a set, you needed to have exerted yourself to almost failure or to or beyond failure. You can go beyond failure, if you've got someone helping you and bringing the weights up a bit, and you're sort of doing the... just letting them back down even though you failed and you can't get them up again. That would be sort of beyond failure. But the point being, whether you're increasing the reps or you're increasing the weight, you need to really hammer the muscles. It's no good going in the gym. I see people sort of there doing some movements, looking around, whistling to themselves, reading a book with the other hand, checking their phone whilst they're lifting weights. Then they walk out of the gym. You're not going to get bigger muscles by just being near a gym or being near weights or doing like disco dances with weights in your hand. You have to actually mean it, so you've got to develop a little bit of aggression, get in there and really set some goals for yourself and try and hammer the weights. The next thing is kind of offset to that, because people think then, right, I'm going to go in the gym every day, I'm going to really hammer the weights, I'm going to get really aggressive with it, and they're just absolutely smashing their body to pieces. And you may remember we just spoke about the muscle needs to be sort of overexerted, but then it needs to heal. So muscle is actually growing, not in the gym. It's growing generally at night while you're laying there healing, and it will be growing over the next few days of training. So it's important to have a split, that's your workout schedule, that allows each part of your body to get some rest. And then it's important to have some complete days off as well, because if you're not doing that, then your muscles are never going to get a chance to regrow. And if you think about it like this, for example, you go onto a building site and you'll see guys on that building site that are lifting really, really heavy brickwork all day, going up and down ladders, doing really physical work. If your body responded to muscle growth just by repeatedly lifting things and doing things day in, day out, 6-7 days a week, then all these builders would be absolutely tanked. They would be massive, but they're not. They're generally wiry and quite thin. They're strong guys. They're very good at what they do, but they're not like, looking like Arnie Schwarzenegger. That's because they're not getting enough rest in. So if they went to work, hod carried for the morning, then chilled out all afternoon, then took the next day off, and then kind of went back and did that again, they would probably get pretty big. But obviously that's not workable. You couldn't do that on a building site. You've just got to go to work and get your work done. So if you've got one of those kind of jobs, it also tends to make it pretty hard to put on muscle tissue, because you're going to be going down the gym and you're also smashing yourself to pieces at work, and you're going to struggle to give yourself a physical rest day. So that actually gets harder for those guys. It's still not impossible, but it's very, very difficult. And then in terms of rest, it becomes like a psychological battle, because people that get into the gym, they don't like to have rest days. They enjoy going to the gym so much. It's like a release after a while, that you just feel that you want to go down there and do it, that you just don't want to have any rest days at all. And you've really got to be strict with yourself and make yourself have that rest day if you need it. I take 2 rest days a week, and I might do a little bit of cardio on a rest day, but I certainly don't go and do any weights. Then the other part of rest is sleeping, and this is the one that loads and loads of people forget. So if you're going to go to sleep, it's no good just thinking, well, I'll be looking at my phone till midnight, then I'm going to, drop off to sleep with my phone still in my hand and lay there snoring, and then the alarm clock wakes me up at 5:30 in the morning. Or that you're drinking alcohol to get to sleep, and then you have a night of tossing and turning and having a dry mouth and getting up 5 times to go to the loo. All those type of behaviors are going to ruin your sleep. And if you ruin your sleep, you're not going to get the muscle repair. So this was a night and day one for me. I really used to drink tons and tons of caffeine. I didn't like to sleep very much. I used to stay up really late, caffeine into the night, 9, 10 o'clock at night, I'll be having a coffee still. I'd be working away on the computer, doing video editing or whatever it was. And then, I would sort of fall off to sleep at like 1, 2 in the morning. And then I'd be waking up 5, 6 in the morning and trying to get myself to work. And obviously I felt like absolute rubbish, but I wasn't gaining any muscle because I wasn't getting any repair done. You need to be getting, say, 7 hours sleep at a minimum, preferably 8. But I normally get 7. Everyone's going to be a bit different. Try and make sure your room is really as dark as it can possibly be. Try and make sure you haven't got loads of disturbances going on, like TVs blaring out or the people next door are, making loads and loads of noise. That can be difficult for some people, I understand. But if it's maybe your friends or flatmates that are in the room next door, you could kind of ask them to keep it down a bit. You might try wearing like an eye mask that's going to black everything out. You might try wearing some foam ear inserts that are going to block any sounds out. That's the kind of thing you're going to need to do to get a really, really good night's sleep. That's going to allow your body to regrow and grow muscle, and also going to allow you to feel a lot better the next day. So that's where I'm now finding, I'm getting up. I'm waking up at like 6 in the morning. I feel fantastic. I'm not drowsy at all. I think the myth of like I'm like leaping out of bed, like all these sort of vegans talk about springing out of bed and, being like super energetic and happy. I'm not quite there. I don't have that. And I have been vegan. I've tried that as well. I've never had that, but I've certainly, this is a time in my life where I've felt the best that I've ever felt in the mornings. I'm not cranky. I'm not tired. My eyes aren't all bloodshot. I'm just waking up very happy, going, getting my breakfast and whatever. And I'm just feeling completely normal. I don't have a craving to have an immediate coffee because a lot of us, when we get up, we feel so drained and so tired that we're just absolutely run into the coffee machine or whatever to try and get some energy. And I normally don't have a coffee for about an hour or so, just to give my body a chance to kind of settle down. And then I'm only drinking 1 or 2 coffees a day now. But that's been a game changer for me, is having a decent sleep routine. So really, that's it, guys. If you've got those things together, which isn't much, it's 3 basic things: your diet, your activity, your lifting, and then your resting. If you've got those 3 things engaged and you're doing them consistently, you are 100% going to grow muscle. If you're still not, you might find that you have to adjust diet a little bit. That's probably going to be the main thing to adjust, but that will really be the only thing you have to fiddle around with. The rest of the stuff is all in place, and I guarantee you will get results. It will take a few months, nothing happens overnight, but you will definitely get results and you can keep at it. And then, you can stop being one of those guys that goes down the gym for a year and looks exactly the same as he did the first day he walked in. I see loads and loads of these people, and I see the sort of disappointment on their faces, and that they must assume that everyone else has got some sort of magic trick that they're up to. It's not magic. It's just that they've got those 3 points in place. It's easy if you think about it. Guys, I hope you have good luck. I hope you're able to put that into practice. And if you're already putting it into practice, I hope you're hammering it at the gym and you're having a really good time. Take care. I'll speak to you all soon.